who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. Who you with, Kirk? I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak. Welcome to Speak. I'm in. 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 I'm in. Who you with, Kirk, dog? Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm M. Who you with, Kirk, dog? Man, it's been a rough week. I know I wasn't here last night, but hey, gotta take care of business first. So definitely we here tonight. Yeah, that's right. We here and my girl is sitting in the background waiting. First of all, I want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house, and also Anchor.fm. So tonight we know what time it is. It's Thursday night. My girl is in the house. Miss Risky is waiting in the wings. She got a lot of stuff on her chest tonight. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm laughing at what she's doing in the background. So we're gonna have history with Miss Risky. Then also history is gonna be on Christopher Columbus. Yeah, gonna talk about that a little bit. Then y'all gotta be careful about complaining with some folks. You know, it's a lot of people. They at work, we're in a pandemic, folks coming in there with an attitude. You might just get your ass burned. So I'm just saying, they doing some instead of hot grits, they doing some hot oil. So we're gonna talk about that too. And then Miss Risky, she's gonna let everything off her chest that is on her mind. So y'all get ready for it. So I'm gonna stop making her wait because she's making all type of faces at me. But anyway, ladies and my home girl, my little sister, Miss Risky. What's going on?
You know, just hanging out,
I see
picking
you
the
get.
skin off my fingers. You know,
Hey, I know it's gonna be a good night. I know. I know when I text you, I was like, "Look, I'm running home like Eddie Kane." Nobody can sing like Eddie Kane, so I ran home like Eddie Kane for we could do the show. So,
running like the dude from Get Out,
yeah, exactly.
that sharp turn,
Then he stopped on the dime. Hold on, dude.
breaking all the ankles.
Exactly. Um, so how was your week?
Long, and then today it was just like I knew I should have just eaten what I had at the house.
Mm.
Had a bad delivery experience. I didn't even report it. I just put it on Yelp because I didn't even want to deal with the restaurant. This is what happens when you order things that were on flyers that they leave on your door.
Yeah.
I took pictures.
Oh Lord.
How
Then
you mess up pizza?
oh, it's easy. People do that all
What
the
is
time.
it? Rosarita? I don't know. It's some neighborhood pizzeria. Yeah, I'm calling you out. I'm very disappointed. And the fact that they had the audacity to deliver that to my door.
Yeah.
That's my Italian for what is wrong with you?
Be like, look, y'all wrong for that now. If
Like I
I
should have
had
just gone Domino's
if
and
I if I had a dog, my dog wouldn't even eat it.
listen, I wouldn't even bother to give it to a dog, like at all, because I was just like staring at it. I was like, when I he handed it to me, it was like, you know how like things get hot and then things start settling in the box and it's mushy. The
Oh,
box was mushy, y'all.
how long did it take to get it?
I, it's literally down the street. Like I could have just got it, put on some clothes, and drove down the street to get it.
Mm,
But it seemed
yeah.
like it was probably sitting out and they already had it made and decided, you know what? Instead of making a new order, we're just gonna hand this to her. And then when I got it, like even a little plastic thing that's supposed to keep the box from smushing on the cheese,
Yeah.
it was like I give up on life. I just stared at it.
That's not good at all.
Mm-mm. I was like, well, maybe it tastes good. Like I'll and I was like, no. I ended up throwing it all away. Yeah,
Mm, yeah, that's not good.
I should have just eaten my salad, because I'm trying to get my fine on.
Y'all
He's gonna
cats gonna
lose
come
his
up.
belly
Y'all
eating
cats
fast
gonna come
food.
up missing in your neighborhood. Your cats and raccoons gonna come up missing. They're gonna be
Mm-mm.
like, she tried to kill us. Welcome to the
With
show,
that
K
pizza.
Cal. I said K Cal. I don't know. I tell you, it's been one of those nights. It really have. T Cal, welcome to the show. Thank you for always supporting the show. I'm exhausted, so I'm
Like
I'm
you
tired.
literally just got in. Mhm.
Exactly. I'm like, and you see, I had to cover my can up because I don't want to say what I'm drinking. I don't want to sponsor nobody because we are looking for sponsors. Matter of fact, someone been reaching out to me on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know if they full of games or not, but y'all need to come on with it. So I hope you can't tell what it is, but yeah, I had to come in and get a cold one. Um, I don't know. Maybe they should sponsor us. Then we can. It's actually pretty good. So T Cal said, "Hate to hear that, Miss Risky." Said,
Yeah.
"Sound like you may need a cocktail. Not this time of the year.
No, I
Normal.
mean I'm gonna drink my water. I did have some sparkling red wine,
Uh,
but I've converted to water now.
oh wow! Breaking news just came across. Bill Clinton been admitted into the hospital for non-COVID. Um, that just came across my stream.
Not a uncle's.
He was
Ew.
admitted on Tuesday with non-COVID related infection. Um, that's Machiavelli right there. So hopefully everything works out. T. Cal said, "Not Bill." Yeah, no Bill. It just came across, and it's not even news time.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. I
WFAA.
just got it now.
Yeah.
Sepsis. Ooh,
So
not
woman.
sepsis.
Oh, I didn't even. I didn't even click on it because I figured it probably was a video or something. But
But yeah, it said he was hospitalized in Irvine, California with sepsis. And
oh
this is according to CNN News. So, yeah. Well, get some antibiotics, drink some, get plenty of fluids. You'll be all right. Maybe.
yeah, T. Cal said prayers up. Exactly. Um, actually, I think we all need a little prayers. Oh, excuse
We
me.
need a lot of things. We need all the gods, new and old gods.
Because
Norse, Roman, Greek, all the gods.
because the thing is, seem like every time I go on Facebook, I hear about someone losing a loved one, or someone that I know had passed, and I'm like, wow. Uh, I feel like sometime when I go on Facebook, I feel like I'm in the movie of life when he was reading those letters. Yeah, I'm
Some
like,
dogs died.
talking about anybody else want
Goldfish
to go on
died.
Facebook? No, I don't. I don't want to go back on Facebook. So,
That's why I just
um,
play games. Every once in a while, I get a message from the fam. Hey, what are you doing? That's it.
my prayers up to um, former President Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and the family. I pray that healing powers and allow them to heal, and all the families that are going through things right now that have lost loved ones. Prayers for y'all also. Um, so Miss Risky, I know you've been ready all week. Um, um, you ready for your history?
Yes. It's long, but I'm gonna skim through a lot of stuff
Okay.
because maybe I don't know. We'll see because it's very interesting. So this man was born in Genoa. His birth name was Cristoforo Colombo, but we all know him as Christopher Columbus. Um, in other countries like Spanish, Latin American cultures, he's Cristobal Colon, and in Sweden, Christopher Columbus with K's. Um, but it said even his Genoese name is not certain, as historical documents about his origins are scarce, which leads to some other issues that I had with this man. Columbus became convinced of the possibility of reaching Asia by traveling west, um, but getting funding to go was a hard sell in Europe because he was thinking that there was a shortcut somewhere through the waters. He tried many sources and outlets which included the King of Portugal and most of the European rulers thought this man was a crackpot. Like they didn't pay attention to him. But he hung around the Spanish court for years, hoping to convince King and Queen Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain to finance his journey. In fact, he almost gave up on the idea and was on his way to France to probably mess up their lives in 1492 when he got the news that his voyage had finally been approved. His agreement with Ferdinand and Isabella, signed April 17th, 1492, included a proviso that he would keep 10% of the pearls, precious stones, gold, silver, spices, whatever he brought back, bartered, discovered, or acquired or obtained, end quote. Uh, some articles claim that Columbus was a cheapskate. However, reading some of the various texts written about him, he appeared more like a con artist or scammer, like for real. One instance of his noted and on his most famous voyage in 1492, Columbus promised a reward of gold to whoever saw land first. A sailor named Rodrigo de Triana was the first to see land on October 12th, 1492, small island in the present day Bahamas. Columbus eventually named that place San Salvador. Poor Rodrigo never got his reward. You know why? Because Columbus decided he wanted to just keep everything for himself and told everybody, in the middle of the night, I kind of saw a light in the distance. So technically, I saw it first. But in the end, Rodrigo, he may have gotten hosed on the deal, but there's a statue of him in a park in Seville, Spain. So on again, as I stated on that voyage, the his flagship, the Santa Maria, ran aground and ended up sinking causing him to leave 39 men behind at a settlement named La Navidad. He was supposed to return to Spain loaded with spices and other valuable goods and knowledge of important new trade routes. Instead, he came up empty handed. And I think they gave him like 3 ships, but they never came back. One of the 4 ships, his fourth voyage, his ship rotted out from under him, and he spent a year with his men marooned on Jamaica. So he once again set sails looking for new lands, and he uh, and found some territories. And the king and queen of Spain was like, you know what, we're gonna make you governor of this settlement, Santo Domingo. So he and his brothers ruled the settlement like kings, taking most of the profits for themselves, antagonizing the other settlers. And although Columbus instructed his settlers to make sure that the Tuanas, I know I'm butchering that, on Hispaniola be protected, during his frequent absence, settlers began to rampage the village, robbing, raping, enslaving, the whole 9 yards. Now, Columbus and his brothers, when they came back, they tried to intervene, allegedly, but then they were met with an open revolt. So, in the meantime, Christopher Columbus kept a journal that he eventually gave to the king and queen, like for records. But he kept detailed records. And he kept notes from August 3rd, 1492, and through November 6th of that same year. And he mentions everything from the wildlife he encountered, like dolphins, birds, the weather and the moods of his crew. But he also noted the impressions of the local people and argued for why they should be enslaved.
Mm.
Quote, they brought us parrots and balls of cotton and spears and many other things, which they exchanged for glass beads and hawkbells, he wrote. He also noted they willingly traded everything they owned. They were well built with good bodies and handsome features. They do not bear arms and do not know them, for I showed them a sword, and they took it by the edge and cut themselves out of ignorance. They have no iron. They would make fine servants. With 50 men, we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want. End quote. So about 6 months later, in about September 1493, Columbus returned to the Americas. He found, when he came back, he found that Hispaniola settlement destroyed and left his brothers Bartholomew and Diego Columbus behind to rebuild. And they used like parts from the ships that that were given to him. And he enslaved indigenous people to help with the building of the colonies or whatever. Columbus was allegedly very religious, and he thought that God had singled him out to go on these voyages of discovery. And of the many names he gave the islands, most of them were religious ones, um, such as like San Salvador, in hopes that like the natives there, once he named them, would found salvation in Christ. Um, Later in life, he took to wearing a plain Franciscan habit everywhere he went to look more like a monk, even though he was a wealthy admiral. So most of Columbus' explorations were fruitless in his research, in his search for gold and other goods. His group now included a large number of indigenous people that the Europeans had enslaved. And in lieu of the material riches he had promised the Spanish monarchs, he spent some 500 enslaved people, or he sent some 500 enslaved people to Queen Isabella. And she was horrified. She believed that Any people Columbus discovered were Spanish subjects and could not be enslaved, and she promptly and sternly returned the explorers' gifts. In May 1498, Columbus sailed west to Atlantic and he visited Trinidad and South America mainlands before returning to the ill-fated Hispaniola settlement. And like I said, there was like a revolt, so they had to rebuild at that point. Um, One example of the carnage that took place in 1495 when he created the tribute system required that every person over 14 to provide him with hog bills of gold every 3 months. Those who complied were given a token to wear on around their necks. Those who didn't comply, as Columbus' son Fernando reported, were punished by having their hands cut off. They were left to bleed to death. About 10,000 Haitian or in yeah, about 10,000 in Haiti and Dominican Republic were victimized. Many of the indigenous people were, while alive, roasted on spits with slender pointed rods, burnt at the stake, and invaders hacked the children into pieces. Columbus' men also tore babies from their mothers' breasts by their feet, dashed their heads against rocks. They split the bodies of other babies together with their mothers on their swords. And as noted by Spanish historian and Catholic priest Bartholomew de la Casa, who witnessed much of the carnage, Columbus, um, he witnessed much of the carnage done by Columbus and his crew. Um, Said that in order he did that to test the sharpness of their blades. So he would just slice people and children, directing his men to cut off the legs of children who ran from them. His crew would pour boiling soap on people, causing, and then others were eaten alive by hunting dogs. Um, if the brigade ran out of meat for their vicious dog, Arawak babies, which are like the natives of that area, were killed for dog food. It got so bad that the Spanish crown sent an investigator who took over as governor. They eventually arrested Columbus and sent him back to Spain in chains. The new governor, apparently, though, was still, far worse. But, most of the colonizers were. In 1502, though he was cleared of most serious charges, he was stripped of his noble titles. The aging Columbus persuaded the Spanish crown to pay for one last trip across the Atlantic. This time, Columbus made it all the way to Panama, and this is where he had abandoned two of his four ships after damage from storms and hostile natives. And again, empty-handed, he returned to Spain, where he eventually died in 1506. Now, a University of Vermont history professor, Dr. James Lowen, stated that in one of his expeditions in 1493, Columbus was rewarding his lieutenants with native women to rape. When they were in Haiti, sex slaves were one of the prerequisites that they enjoyed. He said it also included adult rape and child rape. As Columbus himself wrote in 1500s, girls from 9 to 10 are in demand, end quote. And it's noted that de la Costa saw Columbus soldiers dismember, behead, and rape 3,000 natives. And right. So I know. So, like I said, he made 4 trips across the Atlantic in 1492, 1493, 1498, and 1502. Although he was determined to find a direct water route west from Europe to Asia, he never did. I mean, the dude went the wrong direction. He like for real, he's famous for going the wrong direction and wreaking havoc. And that's like he was looking for India for spices and things like that and trade. Saw some natives on American land and called them Indians, which is the name we call the natives now. Um, and it's stuck with us. And it probably shouldn't, but that's just what it is. And the fact that Columbus is what the father who or the man who discovered America, he didn't. He didn't discover the New World. In fact, red and brown people, Taino, Arawak, and Lucans, were living on this land and the so-called New World 14,000 years before Christopher Columbus' birth. This is the legacy of Christopher Columbus. He's an enslaver, he's a fraud, he's a murderer, a rapist, whose name should be stricken from all records, and we should definitely not have a holiday in his honor. So that's my history lesson.
I agree with you, but
Like, is ridiculous, but it is what it is.
if when you was talking about girls from 9 to 14 is high demand, I was like, oh, so he's allegedly the first R. Kelly.
Well, no, I mean that was going on before Columbus, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm
Like, I
sure it
mean,
was too.
like even in like what Sodom and Gomorrah, like there's a lot of stuff going on. It probably happened then. I mean, yes, and what 3 sections they had to tell them to stop having sex with she asses. You can Google that. It's in 3 sections of the Bible. I was like, a she like sheeps, goats, what? Donkeys? What is a she ass? So I guess a donkey. I don't know. But yeah, they were having sex with livestock and probably having sex with children. Because remember, during the prairie days, you married off your daughter at 10. Well, if they hit puberty, they were sellable. They were married off to these grown men to have 5 million babies.
She asked it's a female donkey.
Yeah, so still livestock. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
disgusting. Not the poor little farm animals.
So this history lesson came about because Monday was Columbus Day, and a lot of people was off.
And Indigenous Peoples Day, because technically,
That's what it been changed to.
yeah, but it still shows up on calendars and things like that as Christopher Columbus Day. The
Yeah.
man who was a fraud, who never brought home the bacon ever. He schemed his way into keeping whatever he found to himself.
Yeah, he
And
seemed
then
like
was
he was
allowed to
yeah.
go out again. That's the crazy thing. He was allowed to go out again after he
Yeah.
raped and pillaged.
Now I seen a quote somebody put up, said that'll throw that some bitch in the Atlantis and say that he discovered Atlantis or something, and said, and I said, boy, they went in on him. Which, see, that's why it's important that the true history is told.
Yeah.
Because they don't want that type of history to get out by Christopher Columbus.
Or
Uh,
any colonizer history, like any creation of our land. Like they're whitewashing slavery and saying that it's indentured indentured servitude. Yeah, indentured slaves had a term limit. They were working off like being brought over to the Americas, working off the debt, or criminals who are working off their sentence. Black slaves didn't have that luxury. Like we worked from sun up to sundown. for generations without the light being at the end of the tunnel. Like we did not have anything to, look forward to.
Yeah. Um, so Christopher Columbus, a lot of people feel like he discovered America, but unfortunately, he wasn't the one that really discovered it. And looking at everything that he's put, he also said he discovered Bahamas and
Hmm.
Cuba and
Haiti.
Haiti and all these other places. So
That were
how
inhabited.
can you discover them if people are already there?
I'm gonna go to the Four Seasons and discover some of those homes on the golf course.
Let me know how that work out for
Like,
you.
get off my land.
Let me know how that work out for you.
I'll
Um,
be on Fox 4 News real quick.
but you
Bipolar black woman.
hold on real quick. Um, you're listening to Speak on It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I mean, Who You With Kurt Dog. Miss Risky is in the house. You know she always bring the history. Now, Miss Risky, one thing
Yeah.
that you brought up, how they was taking that hot soap
Hmm.
and putting it on folks.
Hmm.
Did you know that before we decided to do the story about Wendy's in the hot oil?
No.
I'm like, hmm.
But people, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And just like, if you look up how they created a lot of those soaps and stuff, because it's usually from fat and stuff like that. Hey,
welcome,
Ebony.
welcome to the show, Ebony. Lot of laugh at Four Season Diary of a Bipolar Black Woman. That's what they're gonna call her. And welcome to the
We need to
show.
have Ebony on the show one day. She does like yoga, so we can have like a mental health or self love day or something. She can
Mhm.
teach us some things.
Well, the only thing she gotta do is let us know when. Uh,
Let us know when, girl. I
let
knew
us
her
know
in
when.
junior high.
Oh, okay. Ebony, and I've wrong,
No,
Ebony. Oh, okay. All right,
no,
my
wrong
bad.
key.
Hey, I tell you, it's been a hell of a week this week. A short week, but I'm making up for it. Yeah, Ebony, just let us know. Reach out to us. You can shoot an email, and we can make it happen. Um, let us know. Let Miss Risky come get some yoga done.
Well, I'm not gonna do yoga. Yoga stresses me out. Maybe breathing, because I do need to calm my center myself. But yeah, yoga stresses me out. I can do some Pilates, but yoga, it stresses me out.
I used to go in this gym back in the days, and they ha- they have was it yoga? Yeah, it was. 'Cause they used to do the plank, where you just take your arms and legs and just laying across.
Yeah,
I said that ain't for me.
I think I bailed out during the archer's pose, and it was a few a few minutes too long. I don't think I was in that position for that long, but it felt like things were supposed to be slowing down, but my mind was like, what are we gonna do the next step? What are we gonna do the next step? We are still not moving.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Before you do yoga, be careful what you
Yogurt.
eat. Oh, yoga. Be careful what you eat before you go. That's
No
all I'm gonna
gassy
say.
food.
Exactly.
No Chipotle
Cause
or
you go
Taco
down,
Bell.
do that downward dog, and you're gonna blow everybody out of there. You're gonna clear
So
the
don't
room.
sit downwind from Kurt Dog.
Be like, ooh. Yeah, I'd be like, I don't, that wasn't me. How oh, you probably too young for this. Robert Harrison, talking about that wasn't me. Um, you do it every day, just in a major pose, risky massage those in there. Oh, where you located? Because what part of town you in? I might need to send my wife up there. See if she's interested in doing some yoga. They said they get pretty
And I think,
flexible.
what is it, Mad Hat Yoga?
Yeah, let us know where it's at, because you're always welcome to come on the show whenever you're ready. Uh, okay, Richardson. Okay, that's not bad. Kind of central. Um, yeah, let us know. We support black business. Um, good black business. We can't support everybody because everybody ain't all that good. Um, but we
That's why I
do
stay in the
support.
house.
Sound like fun to talk to you and Miss Thing. I would assume you are Miss Thing. um, T Cal said, "Yeah, call in. Yeah, we'll definitely have you on the show. Um, just let me know when. Shoot me an email, and we'll make arrangement for it. And yeah, we could do it. What's next Thursday? Let me check my calendar. My palm calendar.
Your palm
Look like
pilot.
I'm clear. Look like I'm clear. Um, so yeah, definitely reach out and we can make some things happen. I love supporting black business. Even though it's hard to get a black business to support each other, unfortunately, it's hard to get black business to support other black business. Uh, oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. We're gonna keep it going. Tonight, I know I'm exhausted. I don't know about Miss Risky, but the line of work she do, I know she's probably exhausted too. But she's a soldier. That's my little sister.
Yeah, I got too many
Um,
projects that I'm trying to push out, and so far nothing's really landing. I need an agent because I am
you,
not a salesperson at all.
you know what? And I'm gonna have to send you the information.
Hmm.
I talked with a friend yesterday, and um, I don't want to say too much, but um, they sent me some information, and gonna try to reach out to the person to see if they have an agent that they can refer us to. Um, because I'm really want to go ahead and get this book out, and I don't mind
Oh,
traveling to promote the book.
and also anyone who knows of a printing service that can print like trivia type materials, because I would like to get a printer service to help me roll out my trivia game so that we could have some games for this Christmas. But yeah, it's like it's harder than I anticipated.
I'm say y'all know that we're live and we do some ghetto stuff sometimes. I'm a reach
We
out us.
all right. So Bugetto, I will accept Bugetto.
Okay. Um,
Not full ghetto, but Bugetto.
we have another breaking news.
Oh Lord,
Howie Mandel reportedly rushed to hospital after passing out at Starbucks.
the comedian.
Yeah.
He probably passed out all the hand sanitizer he been using. He probably
That
like
is not
lost his little mind.
that is not funny at all. Yeah.
Well, no. Well, I think as a comedian, he would appreciate that joke.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
that came across when you were reading the history, but I was also What's the problem? My microphone. I don't know.
Yeah, you doing some things. Are you beating the microphone? What's going
I
on, sir?
haven't touched it. Um, I'm going to reach out to a friend. I don't know if she still do her print shop or not, but if so, that may be a good lead you could go to. Um, so I'm trying to, I haven't talked to her in so long. When you try to pull up a number you haven't talked to in a while, your phone be like, "Who?"
Nah, because I don't call anybody.
Oh, um,
I speak to no one
yeah.
except text or DMs.
I'm gonna have to see if I know I have her number. I may have to reach out to her on social media and see, and if so, um, I'll put you in contact with her. She may know somebody that you can uh so I don't think that's her number. But
Well,
I'll
you can
reach out.
find it later. I mean,
Yeah.
we got a show to do. No searching numbers.
I'll reach out to her. Okay, what's the problem, microphone? Sound like it was trying to do a remix. But okay. So we talked about Christopher Columbus
Yeah.
during the um putting the hot oil, I mean the hot soap on somebody.
Hmm.
So you sent me a story earlier, which is crazy. Wendy's manager in Tennessee accused of throwing hot oil on a customer.
Hmm.
That's why you didn't call and complain about that pizza, ain't
Well, listen, at a certain point, especially during the pandemic, you just don't want to bother because
it? Yeah.
people are all sorts of crazy nowadays. And like again, I should have eaten what I had at house. It was $18 I could have used for like a couple of bottles of wine or maybe one good bottle of wine and some
Now, I'm gonna
Funyuns.
say,
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna say you getting some bone form or something for
No,
$18.
no, that'd be like 18 bottles, and they're like 50 cents a bottle now. But no, what was it? It was a Wendy's manager.
A shift
Um,
manager.
Arrested after pouring hot cooking grease on a customer that complained about their food being cold. Demarcus Pritchett, who was 23, got into a verbal altercation with Xavion Johnson through the drive-through of the Tennessee Wendy's that he was working at Tuesday night. The surveillance footage caught them arguing, um, and uh, and it looks like it also got him grabbing the deep fryer full of hot grease and then returning to the drive-through and poured the grease on the customer through the window. And so the customer was transported to a nearby hospital with serious injuries to his left arm. Pritchett was arrested and charged with aggravated assault and is currently out on bond.
Mm, yeah.
So yeah, I didn't need anybody like because I didn't want them to say, "Oh, we'll replace your pizza." Yeah, but with what? Like it probably have all sorts of bodily fluids on it and COVID. Like I just threw it away and just you know whatever. I should have had my salad or ramen noodles.
You have a dog?
No, that's outside. I live in apartments, dude. And for some reason the courtyard outside my window is like prime real estate for everybody and their children and dogs.
Oh, you should put that pizza out there. And maybe he
It's
bargained for
already
that
been
pizza.
taken. It's already been taken
Oh,
by Valley Trash. They came early today. I guess he had a date. He was like, I got things to do.
yeah. I'm like, you should have fed that dog that pizza. And speaking of dogs, mm, we're gonna finish this about Wendy's first. So the guy he basically poured this hot oil on. And he thought about that, said they got into it before,
Mm-hmm.
and he complained about his food being cold. And the dude just poured that hot oil on him.
Yeah, walked over to the grease and picked it up. And that's like a lot of things go into picking up that hot grease. Like, because I know, like, he probably put on gloves. He like suited up to do this. Like, this is one of those things where, when you say, one of these days I'm going to go postal and I'm going to do this. Well, he's been thinking about this moment for a while. Because you don't just suddenly think, I'm going to pick up this vat of grease that's been frying on 300 plus. I don't know how hot oil gets before it boils, but and then pick it up and toss it at somebody. One more person complain about the food I make. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like, this didn't just spring into his mind. He'd been thinking about doing some postal for a minute,
Yeah.
and this was it. Like, like hot grits. You don't just think about throwing hot grits on somebody, but I wish
Mhm.
somebody would. And that one day happens, and you're like, I am making some grits. Perfect timing. You know what I mean? It was like, it was one of those where it, like, the stars aligned.
Be like, you know what? Hmm,
I'm gonna do
it's a
this.
hot grits day.
Yeah, you just see it bubbling, toop, 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 and it's popping you on the hand because once grits get to a certain point, you getting third
You
degree burns, and you're like,
don't want big grits on you,
yeah, it's like, what? And he's
especially,
coming at me all the way wrong.
especially if it has sugar and butter on it.
Right. And
Now,
then,
do you eat your grits with sugar and butter or salt?
well, it depends on how it's made. When I make it for breakfast, butter and sugar.
No,
If
I'm
I'm
not
out to eat at some, Creole restaurant or however they make it, savory.
exactly, but
So yeah, I go all both ways.
yeah, that's cool. Um, so what I was saying about the dog, and I'm gonna say it real quick. I don't know. No, I don't. We haven't talked. You are feeling better, right? Because last week I know you was out of
Listen, fall is like, I love fall. It's my favorite season of the year, but it doesn't love me back. My sinuses is like all that pressure. It just, it's just, things are dying, and then the pressure and all the rain we've been having and humidity, it just took me out. Like, nothing was working. I took BC powder. I snorted some Sudafed, the little whatever
there.
nose
What the
spray,
hell?
the
What?
Sudafed nose gel. Um, I did everything. And then on top of that, I topped it off with some Sudafed capsules. Like, it was just nagging. Like, it was not pleasant. And it lingered for 2 days. That was the thing. So that Thursday, I was just like, this is not happening, because I'm either going to projectile vomit or throw some hot grits on somebody, because I am not in the mood for anything right now.
Shit, we probably get some views probably off the chain then. It'd be
Like,
like, oh, they doing that live? Did
like
you
for real,
see
be
them?
like, listen, one bad comment or review, the troll get on there. They get all of this.
Exactly. We had one to show up the other day, and I, 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 I was nice about it. I think I was. Um, he said something in the comments, and I called him a little pervert. So, so what I was saying about a dog. So we just recently had a neighbor to move in. And the family moved in, which is cool. Um, and they brought a dog, two dogs. So I don't know what's going on with one of these dogs, but in the middle of the night, I'm trying to sleep. This dog started barking, howling. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I want to go over there and knock on their door at that time of morning since I'm up. Be like, look, can you shut that some bitch up? Cause I'm talking about soon as you get in that deep sleep, all of a sudden I hear, "Arr!" I'm like, what the
And then in your
hell?
Bernie Mac voice, some of my,
I'm like,
some of my,
no, I said all. I'll
is
be
it
like,
all?
I said all. I'm like, then I wake up the next morning because I'm a light sleep. Well, most of the time I'm a light sleeper. And my wife, she'd be like, she ain't heard nothing. I'm like, you didn't hear that damn dog this morning? She talking about no. But after I left that morning, he started up. I could go out to my vehicle in the morning, get ready to leave, go to work. He'll start barking. I'm like, come on now, y'all need to solve that. Get it right. But so you have some issue going on. Um,
Did
it's,
I have an issue?
well, no, you have some stuff on your chest you want to get off.
I did. Because, okay, so this is in regards to Dave Chappelle. Like, I'm a fan of my rainbow friends and family. Um, and they're going in on him about his show on Netflix that he had. And I watch all his specials. I've watched his series, and he pushes the envelope, but never once have I heard him say anything derogatory or negative against the LGBTQ community. He's mentioned them and his experiences, which I'm not sure like what the problem is. It's like maybe it's me, maybe I'm just blinded because it's I don't know. I just got a lot. So this group, they were trying to get him canceled and get Netflix to remove his special. But again, I don't know why. And it really irked me. Like, and they may come after me for saying this, but the Gayrons were going overboard by creating a mountain out of a molehill. Um, and in the words of my favorite drag queen, Latrice Royale, good God, get a grip, girl. So in the Netflix comedy special, The Closer, uh, like I said, he never made an offensive joke about anyone in the LGBT community. Um, he never directly said anything negative about this group, and especially in this comedy series that I watched, he only jokes about his own bias and how he felt and dealt with a trans person that he came in contact with. And over time, he educated himself to understanding this group of people and their beliefs. And if sharing a personal experience and mentioning anything regarding LGBTQ members is offensive, then we're all in trouble. But if we learn anything from his Netflix special, we learned that he should be commended for his honesty on how he handled being in the presence of someone that was trans. And being black is hard enough, and the toxic masculinity is real in the African American community and some in the Latino American culture as well. He shared how he was biased at first in learning about a fellow comedian being trans and then becoming friends with them and respecting them. He even went out of his way to help her become better at her craft. The trans comedian I'm talking about is Daphne Dorman, or the late Daphne Dorman. She eventually killed herself. And he noted that in the comedy, made a joke, maybe a little tasteless, but in the context, I think it would have been appreciated by Daphne since they had that relationship. Now, let's get real for a second. If you want to cancel anyone or go after any group, then go after yourselves. I'm all for freedom of expression and freedom of speech, but within reason. As long as your art form doesn't discriminate against a group of people or incite violence, I'm cool with it. And you should be too. So before you censor someone outside of the rainbow family, check yourself. Yes, I said it. As a self proclaimed asexual, since before it was cool to have a label before anyone tries to come at me, I can speak on this. The LGBTQ people have a history of muddying the waters of pride while being ageist, colorist, racist, and sexist. I've been called a breeder for having ovaries, yet they somehow forgotten that they all have sex organs and could have the capability to reproduce themselves. Like for real. This is the same group that will have a family friendly pride parade, but have a group of people with their balls literally hanging out of kilts and boobs hanging all out in front of kids, flicking their fingers at family values and those who have kids. So before you come after another group of people Garens, bate fait faute et toi. Pardon my horrible French. You can Google that if you need to know what that is. Because I do not want to be the cause of us getting flagged on that one.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's Miss Risky Rant.
That was
Uh,
my rant for the day. That just irked me. Oh, but then Netflix ended up keeping him on. They stood by him because, again, it's a freedom, it's an art form, and he really didn't say anything. And they quoted Netflix has a policy that content designed to incite or hate or violence is not allowed on the platform. Um, but we all know that the LGBTQ content does exactly that. And they also house a lot of groundbreaking stories, gay themed stories, but they're standing by Dave Chappelle and don't feel that he violated any of their standards. And
and they,
I don't either. And I think the people that are complaining about it never watched it. They just don't like him. Because if anything, black folks, we should have been mad a long time ago when he was that blonde, black, white supremacist. Like,
exactly.
like my grandmother still hates him for that. And I was like, Granny, he's done so many things after that. I don't like him. And I think that's the mentality that they had. They heard somebody from around the corner's cousin said that he said something about them and it just got misconstrued. And I'm like, no, Gayrons. That's my new term. Instead of the Karens, the Gayrons. Settle down.
Well, I personally don't have a problem with what he said. Now, I'm like you. If it was something that was offensive or something like that, I would have a problem with it. But unfortunately, when it comes to Dave Chappelle, because the way he delivered his message,
Mm-hmm.
because he would talk
Yes,
a
conversational.
serious conversation, and people would automatically think he's in the wrong just because of the way he delivered his message, which I don't see nothing wrong with it.
But that's Dave Chappelle. Like he
Exactly.
has a way. He's the only comedian who can deliver his just deliver any lines in a conversational way. Like you forget, oh wait, I'm in a comedy show. Like he talks to you like he's your friend, and then all of a sudden he throws in something. You're like, wait, what? Dave, what? And it
Exactly.
makes you think. It's provoking, but he skates the line, and I think he does it very well. And he's great at his art form. So listen, hey, you can be my friend or not. Like I said, I stay at home. I got Netflix, all my channels. I don't see y'all outside of this.
And I know, I believe I read that Netflix actually suspended those employees that,
Yeah, they were posting things on social media about it, and they were like, "Listen, no, you cannot. You work for us. You cannot single out a show because you are offended or whatever, and then post it with our backing. Like you on all our platforms at Netflix, and you sending stuff out. Like, no, we don't support this, and we don't support you. Like, go on Yahoo or your Google Gmail, and then you could do that. But don't have us in the background like we supporting it. No, that's not how this is gonna go.
and he got paid good.
Mhm.
I think for
Oh yeah.
6 episodes is
Well,
what
yeah, because it was a whole series. Like yeah, he's been getting paid good money for all these series.
I think he got like 60 million for 6 episodes.
Hmm.
I
So
like
he ain't hurting. So it's like you cancel him all you want. He good. He retired. And
he's
then when he
good.
comes back for his final, I'ma be there.
And then kind of like when he walked away from all that money before.
Yeah, but that was a different situation, and I understood that
I,
because all of his stuff, like I said, he was the black white supremacist, and a lot of his things were poking fun at the black community and just a lot of things, but it was something he was familiar with. So nobody even raised an eyebrow. But then he said he brought some other things that were pushing the boundaries to the executives, and they were laughing too hard at the jokes. And it made him feel uncomfortable because there's a difference between when they're laughing with you or laughing at you or laughing. So, yeah, he was like, I didn't like that.
you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. As we listen to Miss Risky and her rant. So, about the Dave Chappelle
Risky
show.
rants.
um, but go ahead, Miss Risky. I
Yeah,
had to,
no, that's fine. But that's all. I mean, he just didn't like how it was different, because he's in a room with a bunch of white people and they're laughing harder at some of the jokes, and he didn't. It made him feel uncomfortable. He's like, "Wait, this is not my demographic. This isn't my audience. I need to really step back and think about this." And he literally went back to Africa. He literally walked away, and where is it, Guyana or something?
Ghana somewhere,
Yeah,
um, and I want to say when
probably
he
hung out
walked
with Michael Blackson.
brought him back to learn some joke to do some jokes over here.
Or eat good, because I mean, every time I turn around, Michael Blackson is eating. Got his knuckles deep in the plate of something.
But I think I read that when he left, when he walked away from it, I think he hooked up with Kanye, and I kind of think I heard in an interview that maybe
Hmm.
Jay-Z went over there too.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of celebrities, especially black celebrities, like they just when they want to get away from everything, because they like, yeah, they know who Beyonce is, but listen, I'm trying to get a meal over in Africa. Like, they could probably just be an average Joe over there and be grounded and without all the chaos. So I think that's where they go to have like a sabbatical and just have peace
Yeah,
while doing charity and do whatever they do. But like, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe
well,
if I get to that point, I'll go over there because I hear Nigeria makes some great drinks.
oh, they do.
I don't know. That's what this, but I think the all these Nigerian men, they just keep coming at me trying to make me their second wife. I'm first wife material, damn it.
No, 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 no,
And then
not
I was like, I'll just go to Mexico. I'm gonna retire in Mexico. It's like, no, the drinks are better in Nigeria. Okay. And it's
no.
cheaper,
You told them
but I don't
wrong.
know.
You
But I
should
don't
be
know.
you should be the only right wife.
Well, yeah, that, but I probably want to send them away and be like, go bother her. I'm watching
No,
Netflix. Well,
yeah,
I'm in
but
my mansion. Come back in 2 months.
I do appreciate what Dave Chappelle have done because a lot of people don't take a stand on that when it come down to their art, and that's I've heard more and more rappers speaking out about their music company want them to talk about the black community and stuff like that in order for them to be with them, and it shouldn't be like that. That is your work, that is your background, that's you, and it's up to you what you put out. Now if a music director, if a record company is telling you, oh, we want you to put out this type of music, you can make that choice. And unfortunately, a lot of people would take the easy money and sell their soul to the devil instead of sticking to their guns. That's why you have so many rappers now, so-called gangster rappers, that never live that lifestyle, and they want to rap about it, but you don't know nothing about it.
All right. But that's what's in. And it's not so much selling your soul. It's like we don't know what their struggle was. And then they finally get a breadcrumb and they're like, you know what, let's get our foot in and then we can make changes later. I mean, sometimes you just kind of got to squeeze through the door to get in just to be seen and then you can make some changes.
And that
Depending on the contract you sign, but yeah, it's like until your foot is in the door, I mean, like now it's like, well, no, I probably wouldn't either, but
well,
this is a different art form. Um, but just to get your foot in the door, because I don't know what it's like to be a singer, and then they tell you, well, you have to wear a leotard on stage, but I'm a singer, not a stripper, and you see this with like, I mean, Cardi B, like, okay, she's okay, cute face, but strip away all, like, put some clothes on her, and you just got some average girl with nice wigs, you
and
know.
we I've actually talked about that. Matter of fact, last Thursday we had a new listener that came on, and he called in and we was talking, and he was like, he asked what was the because we was talking about the shooting that happened at Timberview last week, and he asked what was why how did why do I feel that music play a part in the way that people think today? And my thing was, like I explained to him, basically, you have people putting out this type of music. For the guys, they putting out gangster rap. For the females, they putting out sex.
Yeah, making a booty clap.
Exactly. And I said, it really damaged our community for the simple fact. Um, when you see a female today getting ready to take a picture, first thing she do is turn her butt to the camera. Or a rapper. I was watching BET or something, one of those music shows, just kind of glanced it, and it was somebody performing, and as they perform, one of them pointing toward the TV, but they butt. I that don't
But
do
we've
nothing.
also talked about this before, how the Black community sexualizes our youth at an early age. Like, I was telling a coworker when I was 8, I was just mucking around, probably climbing trees or making mud pies, and I was told I was too old for that. I'm a kid. Like, let me do
Exactly.
what kids do. Let me roll around in the dirt and climb trees like a normal kid. But, and then, like, we just stopped being that cute. We became thugs or fast or whatever because, you're hanging out with the boys playing kickball or whatever. And we don't know what that means. And you already put that on these kids at a young age. So it's like, if we can't be kids, of course, our ideas of adult is booty, clapping and grabbing your balls. Like, we don't have an in between. But little Susie, oh, she's a little girl, 16 years old. Like, what was it, JoJo Siwa, where it's a little side pony with a big old bow, and she's 17 years old. Nobody really comes for her to mature and grow up, but little, Bethany, who, from Crenshaw. Oh, you two old for bows, and wear this low cut or this belly shirt. So it's like, we have weird values and we need to get over it. Like, and that's the problem. We over sexualize the young men and women, and so that's why we have so much stuff about street life and being a hussy and being on a poles, because that's what we know. That's, you know, we don't know any other way.
Now I have. I have no issue with a woman exercising um, on a pole.
Listen, I have no problems with you getting your work and getting them coins however you want.
No, no, because now pole dancing have became a
Oh yeah, I know. It's
semi
like it's,
sport,
but
which
it's yeah, it's been like that for a few years though.
yeah, it have, but it's becoming more and more
More
popular.
mainstream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you finding a lot more people starting to get into pole dancing,
yeah.
and I think
It works your core.
it's a beautiful thing.
Because
Um,
I think somebody on Instagram sent me a video of somebody who was in workout clothes, was working with their toddler child, and just, kids do what they do. It wasn't anything sexual. The kid was just climbing up on a pole, and then she was just helping her, balance, upside down, all in fun. But it's like, it's all innocent until you don't make it innocent.
yeah,
So that's
and
why I was like, I don't have a problem with that. Like, it's a pole.
I I think what a lot of people was having issues with is the stereotype
Yes.
that that the black community get as for pole dance. Because I'm like this,
But it's not just us.
it's sure not, but we the ones to get targeted the most, get the negative vibe the most.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if they see a sister on the pole, oh, she's a stripper.
She's a
But
hoe.
you call it like it is. But if they see little Becky on the pole, oh,
It's a great art form. Look at her.
oh,
Bravo.
that's so good.
Oh my
Can you
gosh. Look at
teach
that
me how
core.
to do that? So I think it's mainly because of the black community, and that's how
Well, I
they
mean, we already talked
stereotype
about
us.
how we have, we need to change the narrative of how we're projected and seen. And until that's changed, they will continue to see us as hoes, thugs, and baby mamas, this and that, you
Exactly.
know?
And that's kind of like when you mentioned earlier about um we was talking earlier and you had mentioned about something you just mentioned. I think it's past my bedtime. Uh, but we was talking about the fact that something we just talked about where oh the music.
Uh-huh.
So how and you said that at first you said you didn't have a problem with doing it to get your name out there. But I
Like, I mean, it just depends on the situation. Again, like if say they've been hustling and struggling since they were teenagers trying to get in the biz, and if somebody comes around and they're like, you know what, if you did this and saying gangster rap instead of rock, we can sign you. And they just want a contract. They don't care because they don't understand what that means. And once you're in there, you can make changes. Once you get to the Beyoncé's or, the Cardi B levels, you can make changes and guide the direction of your work. But coming in, sometimes, maybe you have to do something you don't want to do, you know, not like
well
selling your soul to the devil, but, like, talk about what maybe your uncles did back in the day and present it like it's your life, you know, like it's entertainment. Like I'm not
well
gonna knock an actor for playing a hooker in a role and she has more potential to do more dramatic roles. No, get your coins, do what you need to do, and then once you get to a certain point, maybe get another agent, do you.
and the most important thing with what you just said, before
Mhm.
you sign any contract, go to somebody who know exactly what the meanings are. Because it's a lot of people that is so much in a rush to get into a contract and start making money, but then they end up broke after they done put out all this material
But it's
because
also money management too. Because they
well that
don't
too.
it's not just a contract, is they don't understand money. And we don't learn that in our community. We don't learn about savings and 401ks and all this stuff. Because usually we get our coins, we paying bills.
Exactly. That's kind of like yeah, we didn't talk last week, so but Someone had made a challenge to me last week at work, and they was like, "Hey, Kurt, though, man, I can. We need to have a rib cook off." And I said, "No." So the dude been asking me for a while, and finally I said, "You know what? Okay, fine. This weekend we could do it Sunday." "Oh no, I got to go to the game Sunday." "Okay, well we off Monday. Let's do it Monday." "Okay, cool, cool." Dude come in after about a week, about 3 or 4 days after talking to us and all of that. He come in talking about, "Hey, Kurt, dog, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let you win because somebody told me about you." I said, "Now see what the dude do all the time. He loved to bet and type. I don't spend money on betting." And I told him today, he was like, "Man, we need to go and get together and all of this and do this, do that. And we'll bet $300 on it." I said, "Dude, I don't bet on you." I said, I put my money in stocks if I could get a return on it. And I said, not that I won't get a return on this, but at the same time, I just don't blow money like that betting
Like
on
for real.
stuff. And I told him, I said, "Well, man, why don't you come over to the house Sunday? Just you and I will sit down. You bring your ribs over, I bring mine over. We both taste each other ribs and go from there. I don't want to embarrass you in front of everybody." So, but I'm like this. Instead of going and betting on unnecessary stuff, bet on something that you have a better chance of winning in. I see you looking. You probably, I haven't looked all day, so I see that smile on your face. I haven't looked all day about uh when I mentioned stocks. So
Oh no, I didn't look at that yet.
uh, down a little bit,
Good now.
but it's still
I mean, it's
hanging.
still holding steady. I mean,
Yeah,
it's got a long way to climb before it gets to where we need it to be.
yeah. That's why I told the dude at work. I said, "Man, if it get to 20, 25 cents, I'm throwing
Listen, I'm
deuces.
bailing at 15 cents. What are you talking about? Like
I'm throwing
maybe
deuces."
even a penny. I don't even care.
CK said, "Yep." Uh,
Like, for
Talking
real.
about the stocks must be good. Exactly. And people talking about, "Man, I don't get in the stock. You could lose a lot of money." Just like anything else, you only spend what you able to lose.
Right. You're
I
not
don't
putting your whole life savings in there.
exactly. I don't put a whole bunch of money in stocks. Not in these stocks. I do 10, 20, $25, $100.
Yeah, I mean, that's respectable.
Yeah. Because I spend that
Doing nothing. Like I spend
eating
that
or
at
something.
eating.
Eating for a week. I'm like, hell, I eat leftover a couple of more days. Um, but I know that money is there, and when it get to where I need it to be, I'm out of there. Maybe that's what we need to do: is find somebody who is good at the stock market, that do this on a regular base. Get
Yeah.
them on the show for we can talk about it. So if
Yeah.
if somebody is into stocks,
Or just money management, period.
yeah, let's reach out to us because we want to try to help our people.
We trying to diversify
Because we
portfolios.
we wanna help folks because coming into the new year, one thing that the pandemic have taught everybody: nothing is promising. Your job, nothing. So you need to prepare for the future. Even though we're in a pandemic, some people say he ain't got money to put in the stock. Well, guess what? You do if you budget. Only thing you have to do, say, you know what? Let me buy $10 of this stock.
Yeah.
That mean I can get a Happy Meal this week. Okay, that $10, you that stock hit, then you can You be thankful for it. Be like, hey, everything is a gamble, but I'm not gonna throw away money like that. Betting on who can barbecue the best and all of that. Like I told him, I don't have to prove myself. You have to prove yourself because when I brought the ribs to work last month and sat them on the table, told y'all, here you go. Y'all walking around smacking and biting your fingernails, trying to get all of it from up under your fingernail. And I didn't even have no sauce on it. He wanted to drown his in sauce. So I'm like, no, I don't do that. Um, so yeah. But Miss Risky, I know we stayed on longer than what we wanted to. And I see you getting no long guys.
Not the long guys.
Uh man, I guess I'm gonna have to stop looking at the news too. Um
You can do that in your after show.
yeah. Um okay, that happened a while back. So um yeah, but Miss Risky. Oh, and if I'm asking you to send an email about something, please put in the subject what it's about. If like Ebony, you send me an email, please put in there um, your yoga. Put it in there for I know exactly what it's about. Cause right now I spent the weekend trying to clear out my email. I think I had over almost 1,000 emails. So I'm like, hey, I'm clearing them out. But definitely put it in there, and I will respond back. And you can also send me a text too, 972-591-3665. But Miss Risky,
Yes.
where can the people find you?
In them streets. No, I'm just kidding. I'm everywhere at RsKee on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but I live on Instagram. Love that place. RsKeebooks.com. You can check out my works. And let's see, RsKee at yahoo.com. You can send me a message if you have any ideas or if you want me to talk about a history lesson. Send me a message and I'll do some research and do that for you.
Yeah, that's like she said, find her everywhere in those streets, even though she be at home, even though she at home all the time. Um,
I'm
um,
on the World Wide Web streets.
oh, okay. Find her on the web. Did you ever? I'm sorry. I told you, I'm trying to.
Focus ad had.
Well, this round, but are y'all doing a Halloween show? Ooh.
Y'all?
What depends on what day it fall on,
Because it's on a
because
Sunday, right?
oh, yeah, I
Yeah, it's
don't
on a
know.
Sunday.
It is.
Hmm.
Uh,
It's always on a Sunday, I think. I
it's not
think.
out. It's not
No, no,
always
no.
on a Sunday.
Most of the time it's on a Sunday, but it's on the 31st. But
Yeah, it's always on the
this,
31st.
yeah, but it's more Sundays than any other day. He may be doing a Halloween show. He could pick his head up and close out the show from texting. Who you texting, Kurt Dog?
I'm trying to find out information from you for you.
For me?
Lord have mercy. What I tell you earlier, I have a friend
Yeah.
that
Uh-huh.
I'm checking to see if they have their own print shop. So
Okay.
um,
Yes. I would like to get my trivia, those web streets. The
and
address is www.
in those streets,
Instagram. .com at
Mhm.
RsKee. That's
In
where I
Love
am.
Street. It, since it's on a Sunday, I'm gonna be honest with you. Probably not, because I'm trying to find out what days work best. I know when I first started the show, I did not do Wednesdays because it compete with Bible study. And then seem like on Wednesdays, I'm extremely tired. That's why I don't come on days. But well, I come on some Wednesdays, but when I'm like last night, I made it home, didn't sleep much because of the damn dog. And I told my wife, look, I'm tired. I'm taking a shower, go to bed. And that was it. So um so that's what um I'm still trying to debate about the days. Uh, I'm thinking I'm gonna stop Wednesday for a while and just roll with it, but we will see. I'll let y'all know coming up in the future. But you can find me on Facebook, YouTube, uh, where you can message me on all the platforms, and check out TikTok. I didn't put a video up this past weekend because I did cook Sunday, but the guy didn't come over. Had some
I like how
friends
you're
over.
using TikTok for your cooking. See,
But you
this
know,
is why we can't have nothing.
it's some more people do it too.
Hmm.
I've seen a couple of cooking shows on there, so I'm like, hey, let me
Yeah,
do
but
it.
usually they're like random marshmallows and grapes.
No, so I actually seen this chef fix a whole meal, uh, and I guess he was doing catering or something. See, I need to learn how to edit these videos on
Just
TikTok.
be all on it.
I just don't have time to sit down and try to learn it. So I put those short videos up, but I'm getting likes. Um,
Yeah,
people,
I need followers.
yeah, follow us on TikTok. Matter of fact, we coming up. We still need to work on the grab bag for the holidays. Our last show, we're gonna give away some grab
Yeah,
bags.
and we need to start researching for our stuff. I haven't started doing that. I got so many things. I feel like the pressure.
Yeah. So we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. Come together. Next year, we're going to be doing some great things. So definitely continue to follow the show and subscribe on anchor.fm because if y'all didn't hear that show about the red light special, yeah, $2.99 a month. So, but other than that, we appreciate y'all for always tuning in. T Cal, Ebony, and whoever else tune in because I've seen a lot of people come in and they stick around for a while. And we get a lot of people to come on, but they don't say anything. They just like to
Our
listen.
little voyeurs.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Yeah, let's go with that.
We had no problem with it, but definitely whatever platform you're on, like, share, tell a friend, and give us hearts if you're able to give hearts on those platforms, and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification. So until Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time, if the good Lord say the same, I will see y'all then, and Miss Risky will be back on Thursday of next week, if the good Lord say the same. Until then, I love each and every one of you. Please check on your loved ones and also mental health. I keep forgetting to say this. It's okay to ask for help, get counseling. If you work, you can actually get your counseling for free. Go to your HR, ask about the EAP program. Ask them, hey, tell them I need counseling. Not only for you, but your kids and your spouse can get counseling for free. Trust me, at work, I take it every Tuesday. I appreciate my counselor. I hope she don't send me a bill talking about I started her to drinking and she
Mhm.
need counseling because I'm telling you, I'm under a lot of stress. So, but counseling do work. The best way it will work if you are honest. That's the only way it's gonna work. You have to be um, get out the mind that black folks don't take counseling because we all need to talk to somebody who not finna spread all our business. So until Sunday, I love each and every one of you. Until then, peace.